Today we wanted to talk about disruptive innovation model and market leaders in real estate.
Right, so this happens again and again in businesses, all businesses, where market leaders can be absolutely overthrown by the very innovations that they choose to ignore. I can tell you that Xerox did not buy the computer as a really basic example, and now who has more money, Bill Gates or Xerox? Like, it's just a really basic concept of here. So understanding innovation,
and iPhone.
There you go. Innovations that you choose to ignore can be the death nail in a business. So these theories are concept of disruptive innovation, where this is a framework to analyze new entrants, how they challenge existing companies, and especially with real estate, and understanding how these apply to understand this phenomenon of the new just overthrows the old.
Exactly. Therefore, now we need to understand what is disruptive innovation is.
Absolutely.
And what is the concept. What is the concept of the disruptive innovation?
Okay, so disruptive innovation is when this innovation refers to a process which is typically going to be a smaller company with fewer resources is able to enter a market and displace some bigger competition. This occurs by not just targeting the mainstream. It's not just about customer targeting the mainstream, or it's about the markets that they are serving. By focusing on the overlooked segments of the market, offering simple, more convenient terms or more affordable products to this specific segment of the market can be a huge disruptive innovation.
Exactly. Therefore, the question here is now,
let's do our introduction.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Let's hit it.
Hi, this is Alan Victoria. Welcome to our channel. Please go to theagentwolves.com and grab all of our giveaway.
Also, we are part of the Wolf Pack, so you would get our entire upline if you choose to join us. And we do hope you want to join us at EXP, so we would love to be your sponsor.
And also, please go grab an appointment with us and schedule a phone call.
Now tell me your question.
Now, the question here is, after disruptive innovation, what is difference between sustaining versus disruptive? No?
Right, so as real estate agents, let's talk about disruptors, and then we'll talk about sustaining. So as real estate, we're talking about maybe it's a single agent is more adept at maneuvering than their old brokerage, and maybe they have to switch a brokerage in order to stay competitive because they're seeing that the competition is more where they want to be. This can happen when you're on a small scale because we're small businesses. Now, when we're talking about sustaining, maybe you love your brokerage and it's doing amazingly well, then you're going to stay where you are. So sustaining innovations versus disrupting. Sustaining is aimed at improving our market and improving our services for existing customers that don't necessarily change market dynamics, whereas disruptive is very niche-oriented, very specific, where you're looking to outperform the mainstream in a very specific area. And this is ways that you can grow your company rapidly and outpace those traditional ways in by you going with a disruptor.
Wow. Therefore, that's really interesting. The next thing that we wanted to talk is about applying of this kind of theory in our business. No?
Well, let me talk about Clay Christensen for a second. Clay Christensen has a really concept to really understand in a case analysis way what we need to do with his theories. So he's really big on market disruptions. Number one, we're going to introduce what the problem is, or what the disruption might be. Imagine, like, there could be a company that's developed some sort of new tech where it's going to help us with real estate market and sales. They're allowing virtual property tours. That's going to reduce the need for your physical showings, even though that's not going to give us the smell test and everything else, but it's going to lower the marketing cost if you can do this in a specific way. This was, honestly, let's be honest, that was Zillow's big plan. They were going to disrupt us with these property tours. Yet, what is happening is the NAR settlement means that they can now, real estate agents are going to be a little secondhand question of, do you really want to pay them 35% or whatever the high fees that they have in order to give you the clients? Because all of those fees and that money comes out of the money to create that technology came out of the buyer agency. So if the buyer agency is gone, this is why they're having a stock question now. Can they really introduce this innovative tool? Is it really innovative, or is it really something that's necessary for the business? So the question is is it a disruptor, or is it going to just be another big company trying to come up with something?
Exactly. That's why, number two, we need to identify our target market, which is based on this theory identifying the target. What is our target market is in here in the
So
real
maybe
estate.
you and I, as real estate agents, individual agents, husband and wife teams, or maybe small, are awfully maybe not necessarily noticed as much as those high companies that spend a lot of money, and they might have initial market technology. Now, how did we disrupt our own market? We understood that maybe there's digital ways that you can go on there that we can do that other people aren't doing in our specific market. So if you can identify a target market to where, instead of looking at big picture, and if you can have a big picture, that's amazing, but if you're looking at smaller, you can still find ways to find a target market and a target niche that's different.
Exactly. That's why we come to this part, which is assessing the technology trajectory that my wife said. And usually I start with the lower performance in some dimension, no?
Right. So basically, how can I explain this? So how improving your quality is great. You should definitely do that all the time. You want to improve your tech. You want to improve your map. But is your technology going to really evolve and make the business better? Or is it going to meet and surpass market standards? Or is it not going to? While a virtual property tour is amazing, is it really going to give us that smell of mold? Is it going to tell us that those stairs are squeaky? Or is it everything's going to be perfect? And then you walk in and you're seeing nothing but disaster because that video tour wasn't enough. So I don't know. I think video tours are amazing online, but the question of, can I jump up and down and hear every floorboard? Can I look at these windows in real detail to really analyze? And am I walking with an expert who might be able to help me? So I would say, is the technology as good as it's going to be, or is there still a human touch that you need? Okay. And if you're betting betting the farm on the tech, and then the tech isn't going to factor in the human equation, like with human and technology, then is it really going to be a disruptor, or is it going to just be something that's overinflated?
Exactly. Which brings us to the next point, which is recognizing the potential for the disruption. No? And this is really differentiate between the traditional real estate in the market and then what we can use really, and use this novel approach to help us to upgrade our business, and grow our business.
Well, you want to make sure that you're offering you want to keep your costs low, keep your business costs low, but you want to really focus on where you're going to make the most money. So you want to focus in on your marketing techniques that work. You want to see that what is being reliable and what kind of clients it's bringing to you, because you want to look at your ROI and what is happening there. So you want to recognize, let's go back to the tech. If that property tech and walking around the property like virtually is really, really helping you to grow your business, that's amazing. You should do that. You should double down. If it's not helping you grow your business, maybe it's something that we have to consider as well.
Exactly. And that's why we need the last items to talk about defining the value network, which is we're talking about the suppliers, partners, distribution of channels, and the customers. That this need helps you with the value of the network, supporting your business for innovative approach,
Right.
For growing
while
business.
The online tool is how many people shop for homes at the filming of this video, I don't know what the future holds. Maybe it's going to become more agency based because of everything that's happening. I do not know. But I can tell you that you should definitely still have property tours. People still absolutely need them. And that tech will help give a company a business edge. But we do not know what the future holds. And with this world being crazy, it's just kind of an example of something we can say, where is the value, where is the competitive edge going to come from, who's the disruptor with this tech, and maybe really going into an amazing property tour is something to really consider. But is it going to be from the company that created, or is it going to go up in a different way? Is it going to be tech that other people use? So you want to just give a couple examples?
And then the example that my wife always uses is Netflix versus the Blockbuster, no?
Right. So, I mean, do you want DVDs by the mail, or do you want to just go to the store and pick up your DVD? These were the initial ones. This completely ended Blockbuster's chain, because now you could just mail things back in. And then it became even more streaming and everything else. What's another one?
The next one is really digital photography versus the film, no?
Right. So why do people buy new iPhones every year? Because of a better camera. Better camera is going to give us more tech in our pockets. So the better the tech is going to mean that your traditional companies like Nikon? Well, I can't think of it. Kodak.
Kodak.
What's the N one for camera?
Sony.
Sony makes cameras, but the N. Anyway, Nissan. No, not Nissan. Anyway, I'll think of it later. But either way, declining giants because now we're all using our smartphones in our pocket. No, Nikon, yes.
Nikon is a Japanese brand. And do you want any word of wisdom or conclusion
I would say these are not just theories on innovation versus disruption, but you should always look at these ways for transforming your business, especially in a time of uncertainty. So really look at ways. Old systems are dying, new systems are starting. At the filming of this video, that's what's happening. So understanding where your disruptions might be, what are your strengths if you can be the new person by focusing on a niche that is being overlooked, and then you want to improve on that over time. I would say focusing on your sustained innovations means that you could fall victim to a disruptor. So you want to make sure that you are not BlackBerry versus iPhone because they didn't see that the disruptor was coming. So you want to make sure that your business is there to grow and change, especially in this competitive market that we're facing right now.
And at the end, don't forget to go agentwolfsprural.com and grab an appointment with Alan Victoria Pinder. We love to be your sponsor at eXp Realty. And then see this video, and also we'll be in touch in the next video.